Awesome. So we have a video to inaugurate our new website.
Yeah, welcome to the new launch party.
Awesome. Yes.
We're going live.
Welcome to the inauguration of our new website, Launch Party, Sugar Labs, www 2.0. Okay, so thank you all for joining. Let me get my notes over here. Yeah, so we've got a few speakers. They're all here on Jitsi. Yep, everything seems to be going well. Okay, so we're going to have different developers who have worked on the website speak about, different topics like, how this came about, the tech stack side of things, a little bit about, how they made it, how they designed it, how it works, how you can contribute to it, its long-term maintenance, a little bit about licensing, making PRs. So we've got a lot of information here. So some of the folks you're going to be hearing from, Safwan Saeed, who kind of took the lead of this, Shubham Singh, who together with Safwan, worked on the design side of things. And then we had over 20 other people work on the website. I looked at the stats, about like 25. And we're going to be hearing from some of them. Everybody made a significant contribution to get this all together. So we've got Om Santosh Suneri, we've got Ubayd Safian, and at the end we're going to have a little bit of a conversation. So if you have questions, you can drop it in the comment section, because in the last 5 minutes we'll have a chance for you to ask those questions and we'll respond to them, which is one of the benefits of going live. So first, I want to show everyone what the old website looked like up until this point. So I have a version of the old website here. Okay. Okay, so this is the website as it was, a few months ago. It served an important purpose. It was created by the community. There was a lot of activity, towards, putting it together. So, certainly has been a valuable resource. It was created with a static site generator called Jekyll, and I got to learn all about it over the course of last year. I didn't know anything about Jekyll. I know a lot about WordPress, but here at Sugar Labs, we are very proud about being very geeky. So, Jekyll was a good choice in that regard. And it has one of the benefits is, all of the updates and changes are recorded to GitHub. And so that, helped, kind of do a few things such as like, onboard people, into programming. It made it, very easy to contribute to, at least, in theory, because, everyone could just, clone the website, make a contribution, make a pull request that could be merged into the website itself. Last year, I spent a lot of time updating certain aspects of the website, such as the structure, how things were, organized. Can you still see my screen?
Yeah, we can.
Okay. So some of these things were different about a year ago, and I updated, how you navigate through the website based on some observations that I made with some of our stakeholders here for Sugar Labs. So I wanted, mainly, students, parents, teachers, developers, and then, maybe administrators of schools to be able to, find what they need on our website. And that is a lot of stakeholders to kind of keep it, you know, in account. But I spent some time doing that, and we can get, into that a little bit more later. But this is what it looked like. And At the time that we moved on to the new website, it was looking okay. Things were a little bit more organized than they were a year ago, which was nice. But as I was working on it, I found that some of these things were not easy to maintain. Uh, we had to spend a lot of time, for example, getting the menu to work on mobile in particular, um, and some of the code just um, was hard to read and hard to modify. So that made things really challenging. Um, Also visually, things were uh, you know maybe a little bit hard to look at, a little bit hard to read and find that information that you're looking for. This is the about page. So some of these things, take a little snapshot in your head right now. This is what it looked like. This is what the
Mhm.
roadmap looked like, and other things. And we'll get a sense of how this has changed somewhat dramatically with the help of these, 25 uh, developers. Let's go on to Safwan. If you could, show us the new website, what's changed about it, and walk us through that. That would be great.
Oh, yeah, sure. So, this uh, introduction about myself. Hello, everyone. I am Safwan Said. I am a third year engineering student at RV Institute of Technology, and I'm honored before you to show the new website and am as a technical lead of Sugar Labs web development project. So let me share my screen and then we go ahead with the presentation of how the new website looks like. So this is our new website. Welcome. This is our new website that we've created. So we were very excited to launch the new website. So this is how the main page looks like right now. So as you've seen how Devin showed the main page that looked like, it looked a bit old and stuff. So this is the walkthrough of our main page. So here we go. We have what numbers say for us, what are these, what actually it is, and then join us to make a difference. The words of appreciation and admiration from other people that contributors and other people that who have used Sugar projects and then given their feedbacks. And then this is the experience Sugar part. Basically, you have this card section that is you can try what all projects Sugar Labs have, and these are their things right up here. And then we go with Sugar activities. This is like if you're already using Sugar, we have many other activities for you. And then we have these activities where you can just click on them and then it goes out to the new pages where you can find these activities. Uh, yeah, you can find these activities and you can download them as well. Well, you have multiple other activities if you want to check out. These are the hundreds of activities that we have right now. And then, of course, there's the donate section we have. And then you can even join us through the newsletter, enter your mail, and then subscribe to it. This is the footer that we've created. So let us go with the About Us page that Devin showed, how it looked like in the old website. This is the new website, that how it looks like. This is our mission, our principles. Then we have our goals. And then these are our projects that what we are doing right now. And then what our strategy or our roadmap is right now. And then we go to the leadership page, who is the board of directors. We have all the members info put up here. And then we go to the contact us section, how you can reach Sugar Labs. You can contact Sugar Labs. There are multiple ways you can contact them. But one of the things developers use is the Matrix channel. This is how you can install Matrix channel, join our rooms, what are the different rooms, and how to get started with this. And then we have the FAQ section, but it has been filtered by categories. You can just go on, click on what all FAQs are, and then you can just have any quick answers as well. And then we move on to the news section. This is the news section. We have community news, events, press release, and sugar stories. So I will open a page and then show it how it would look like. This is the annual report that Devin created recently. uh, we have the report of 2024 and then what actually it is. This is completely developed using Markdown parser. This is a Markdown file. This renders it into the website to make it look aesthetic. Okay, so moving on to the products page, we sell a few things. This is a Sugar Labs t-shirt, and then this is a Sugar Labs USB. It is SOAS, that is the sugar on a stick. And then we have multiple ways of donation. Here is the donation page, how it looks like. We have our financial transparency, the filings. Then we can just support the mission today. And then we have joint development. Basically, this is for the developers who want to join Sugar Labs and how they can join, what they can do before contributing, and then what the developers have said after contributing. You can just read the as testimonials up here. And then important links for the developers who are, you can chat us on Matrix, developer guide, related projects, code of conduct, contribute to translations, and multiple stuff. If you're a volunteer, you can join this, you visit this page, and then you can just become a volunteer. There are volunteer roles like educator, communicator, advocate. So yeah, these are the page. And now we go to the try now section. This is like try how the music blocks looks like. This is what music blocks is. You basically get an info of what each thing up here is mentioned, like turtle blocks, sugarizer, desktop. How if you want to install sugar, you have multiple ways how you can install sugar. The first is on a sugar on a stick, how you could boot that in a section and then use that. If you don't want to if you don't want to install it on a sugar USB, you can just buy that. And then you have about Sugarizer as well, what Sugarizer is and what are the main things, like how it can be used on what all platforms it is present. And then uh, we have the activities that again I said that, and then this is our resources like the page if you want to visit what if it is a student learning goals, then Sugar, and then Sugar Labs for parents, and then Sugar Labs for school administrators. We have all put up here. You can just visit this page. So this is how our main page, this is how our new website looks like. So basically, what we have used is a tech stack up here. So let me go through a walkthrough of what tech stack we've used. First is the high level tech stack, that is React, TypeScript, Vite, and Tailwind, and how the project is structured. Okay, so first question is what is React? React is basically a JavaScript library for building user interfaces, particularly for web page development. And then I mentioned something called as Vite. What is Vite? Vite is a modern, fast, and lightweight build tool for front-end web development. So why React? Why TypeScript? Why Vite? And why Tailwind? So React, basically, it is a component-based architecture. React has a feature in which you can build small reusable components like buttons, cards, headers, and then they can be used into multiple pages without having a redundancy of the code. This modular approach makes it very easy to maintain and to test and to extend the part of the website. And then, of course, React has a very mature ecosystem like the React router. It basically gives very easy routing, and then React's virtual DOM and selective re-rendering. It keeps the interaction very smooth, and even if our content grows to a huge thing. Now, I mentioned about TypeScript. Why TypeScript? Basically, TypeScript is static typing. What do I mean by static typing? It is like defining interferences for our data. If we have a news post, there are multiple things that it accepts as inputs. So we can just declare all the types and then we can use them to catch errors at the compile time. Basically, this is used to catch errors at the compile time very easily. And then I even mentioned Vite. What actually Vite is? Vite is like a web development framework. It is used for fast development. Like if we change a part of the code in our website, there is something called as hot module replacement. Basically, what Vite does is the part that you've changed, it takes that, replaces with the new section, and then it instantly changes the code. And without, we can just see that within a blink of a second. And then we need not even wait for the full rebuild of the code. And then, of course, it has very optimized production builds. It uses pre-shake unused code, and then it generates lean bundles for our page to load very quickly. I also mentioned Tailwind CSS. So why Tailwind CSS? Tailwind CSS basically helps us compose low-level utility classes like margin, padding, color, and markup languages. And it also keeps the page consistent from the other normal global CSS. Like you can just reuse it and then have it display on the page, like more of theme-based website. Now we move on to the project structure that we've used. We basically have like components, pages, constants, and then the markdown files. What actually is components section in the source folder? Component section is basically like reusable components that we created, like the cards that you see up here. The cards that we've used, these are the section cards. We just declare one card and then we pass the props to these. This basically is a component and we can use it in multiple places. And then we have pages, like you see, this is the main page, this is the news page, like these are the pages. This is how we navigate through the pages. And then we have the markdown files. These are the markdown files that are being rendered. These are just plain markdown files that are rendering to give us a very aesthetic look. And then, of course, the core features are very advanced design, as you saw the previous website that had a very old website design and looked outdated. This is a very advanced design, and then it has data-driven content. Basically, we have a constants folder under which we just go on putting the data, and then we can just reuse the data without worrying about redundancy, and then even without worrying about like what do you say, if the data is mismatched in some places. Okay, so let's go on to the challenges that we faced while shifting from Jekyll to React. First of all, Jekyll has an inbuilt Markdown parser support. So if there is the page right here you're seeing is a Markdown file that is being rendered. Jekyll provided this without any external support, like without any external uh, declarations or anything, yeah, without using anything. So React, basically, we had to overcome this challenge. And how we did was we created a custom Markdown parser. And then, yeah, we had multiple options. We did a few JSON converts and then a Markdown converts. And the result is up seen here. And then we have styling transition that was a big problem from Jekyll to this thing because Jekyll used a global CSS and then you could not declare like separate sections in that. So that was a bit of concerning things. Then we shifted to Tailwind CSS. Well, that is a very nice framework. And then also performance and search engine optimization. Jekyll did not give much of the uh, performance issue. There were performance issues with Jekyll because it was slow. But because of Vite and static export plugin, you could just randomly, you could just see the website on instantly without even a reload. And then what were the lessons that we learned was we should always keep it modular. And then we should embrace strong typing like TypeScript catches bugs and stuff. And then we also automated our repetitive tasks. Like we change in one section, the data changes in all the like if there is a data in 4 pages, we need to change the data in one section under the constants folder. It will just change in all the 4 pages. So we need not worry about the redundancy or mismatch of the information. So this is what we have made in past 3 4 months. None of this would have been possible without an incredible team. Of course, I would like to thank Devin and Sugar Lab board members for your trust and guidance. And then also my co-partner Shubham. He's our design lead. He also has a very creative mind. And then we had a lot of late night brainstorming sessions, multiple things. And then also every open source contributor who has submitted issues, fixed bugs, improved documentation. Thank you for your passion and your code. I am proud of what we've built together. The website, modern, maintainable, and joy to both browse and to develop. Today, we are not just celebrating this new foundation of Sugar Labs website as an online presence. We can grow with the community to years to come in. Thank you for your time, and I'm excited to answer any questions if you have. And then, of course, we have other sections like other people who will talk about this section. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Safwan. Yeah, so uh, I think this is a good segue into Shabam, talking a little bit more about the UI and maybe the process that you went about, and some of the your eye for things, and so share your thoughts with us.
So, a very warm greetings to everybody present here. My name is Shubham Singh, and I'm 19, a first year college student from Triple IT Sonipat. And I mainly expertise at web development, LLMs, and AI, and I'm a very good UI designer. And so basically, I designed the UI for SugarWeb version 2, and I mostly focus on the question that if a person or a child or maybe a learner or anybody basically from any part of the world, if he enters our website, would he actually feel welcome by the website's UI, right? So I have like some of the presentation to show you guys how it all started. So it all basically started with me showing Safwan some of my work that, oh, I've worked UI designs before and I make UIs for different websites. And he was pretty much amazed by my work, as you can see. And then Devin and Safwan had a meet regarding what we can actually change about the website that currently exists, right? And then suddenly in Safwan's brain, my name popped up, and he gave my name to Devin about the that I will work on the UIs and all that. So initially, when we started designing, this is the first design that I made for the actual Sugar Labs, the main section of Sugar Labs websites, the landing page basically. So basically, I focused on creating designs that were not just functional but felt human like felt welcoming, felt inviting, right? And I used soft color palettes and just a lot of playful typography to make it more intuitive, right? And so the thing is that I didn't actually use any existing or any generic templates, but I built everything from this ground up, from the very scratch itself. This is the experience sugar, the initial mock-up that I made for the main products page, right? So I just felt like Sugar Labs deserves something of its own, something original, right? Something much better. So something like which is truly made for Sugar Labs, right? That's the spirit of Sugar Labs at its core. And also, this is the main page, and this is the initial mock-up of the About Us page that we made. I remember that when we showed it to Devin, he was pretty much impressed with the design. He was very approving of it, and also the music blogs page. And and we have a lot of more designs up there. So the thing is that as more and more contributed to this website, they suggested me and improvised on my work more and more. Like Safwan and Om Suneri always suggested me that, okay, Shubham, this doesn't look good. Maybe you can use this component over here, and maybe you can switch to this design like that. And we always kept on improvising. And as you can see, the about us page that we actually have on the website is kind of a lot more different than the initial mock-up that I made. So that's how we as contributors collaborate to make stuff that is much better, right? And also there's one thing more. This website is a result of countless of sleepless nights and countless of meets that we did along me and Safwan mainly, and also a lot of contributors. I would like to thank every single one of them. Built with love, Sugar Labs version 2. And as exciting as today is the official launch of the website, it's really just, I would like to let you all know that it's really just the beginning. We have much more plans and much more coming up. We are going to take this thing to the next level. So, signing off, Shubham Singh.
Built with love. I really like that. I'm gonna quote you on that.
Yeah,
Um,
we built it
go
with
ahead.
much effort. Like, when I used to tell my friends that, oh, this is the website that I'm creating, this is my website. Like, I treated it like that. So it's
Hmm.
which was built with much love. We built it over months of efforts and all that. So yeah, it was really a memorable experience.
Yeah, true. That is a really memorable experience.
Great. Thank you for sharing this. We can get a little bit more into the collaboration. At the end here, we do have a couple more presentations, um, but I really enjoyed that. So, Om Suneri, if you can talk a little bit about, you know, for those that are excited about, you know, making a contribution, we've all been invited, to take a part in this. What sorts of things do we need to know?
Oh, yeah. So thanks, Devin. I just want to talk about the things. First, let me. First, bit about myself. I'm Om. I'm from Chandigarh, India. I was contributing to Sugar Labs right from the last year in August. So it's about 1 year, something around 1 year for me contributing to Sugar Labs. I had the keen interest of me was music and programming. It's right from my childhood. So I was just interested in music and programming kind of stuff. So the the place where my both of the interests get intersect is music blogs, and I randomly found someday when I was searching about programming and how to learn programming with music and musical concepts. I just get to know about Sugar Labs product Music Blocks, which intersects the both of my interests, like the music and programming. In this product, we uses the programming concepts like loop, which we are having in our day-to-day life, but we are unable to figure it out. So the music Sugar Labs community figured this out and try to create a product which can be which is you can just put some concepts of programming in order to create music and create creativity. So I would like to share my screen in order to present you the. Oh, yeah.
Yep, we can see it.
Oh, fine. So, today I'm here for to speak about something like how can we contribute to Sugar Labs. Like for a folk which is new to the community or new to the open source environment, wants to understand like how open source actually works. So, talking bit about Sugar Labs, who we are. So, for those who may not be familiar with us, Sugar Labs is a non-profit organization that build educational softwares, especially for kids and classroom around the world. We are behind the tools like Sugarizer, Sugar Desktop, many more like music blocks and some activities which Safwan has displayed in our newer website. So all are open source and built by peoples like you and me. So heading towards the next, like why do we need contributors? So something like open source is a thing which works on contributions throughout the globe. Like we don't have anything to hide ourselves or to hide from you and from us, so we just keep it open to everyone, and we need someone to report us. Like we are open to accept your suggestions, your reports, like your issues, and we are always presented to hear you. So whether you are a coder, designer, tester, a documenter, or a beginner new to the website, new to the web development, app development, or any kind of tech stack, we have a space for you. So might be open source is something like a more bit interesting. Like for me, why open source is like interesting is like when I contribute a single line of code, it may impact the 3 million plus users of Sugar Labs, which are currently using Sugar Labs. So this was the first spark which spark in me to contribute in open source. So uh, for the next thing, finding a Sugar Labs project to contribute. So like as I mentioned, my interest was in music and programming. So this thing, the both the things where intersect is music blocks, and I found this thing as more interesting as anything else which I tried from past 2 years. So I tried with this one. I browsed the repository of music blocks and started contributing in it. So how a person can just start contributing in it? So for that, you should always head towards the good first issue. In order to understand the project, you need to understand bit more about the project, like how it works. For that, you need to use it. Like in music blocks, you can create projects and share it on the Planet website. So something like that. A tip I would like to give you, like you can also star our repos. So this can make something more popular for other peoples to help them to discover the things which are there. So like for the next thing, how to report an issue. So reporting an issue is something like when you are a consumer of something and you faces an issue in that. So this was the thing when you report it to us, to the developers of the community. So anyone who is a consumer, developer, a contributor, or a layman person who just want to explore like how open source things work can create an issue to Sugar Labs. So we have I would give you a quick demo of how we can create an issue. So in the end of this presentation. So also so I had mentioned here some of the points for the better issue. So the next thing, like if you are a developer and you want to resolve some issues, like if on clicking on the save button we are not saving the files. So something like that, if you are facing an issue and want to create a solution for that, you need to create one thing called pull request. So pull request is something like that, a piece of code which you share with us, and if it works with the app and it resolves the issue, we are going to put it merged in our upstream branch, so that everyone using the app can get benefited from. So this was something like pull request. So the contribution tips which I want to give anyone who's going to start contribution to the Sugar Labs or any open source community. I would say that you should always head towards the contributions guideline first of all. Reading of the docs, maintaining the dignity of the community, maintaining the rules, regulations, and everything should be meaningful, not the spammy things like what we have in we got some spam PRs and spam issues also, which are not actually there. So you should avoid this type of thing to be to be in a place of a good contributor. So you can start today. It's not the day when you came, so like it's not the time, right time. You can start anytime. So you can open a issue, or and you can also open a PR. We are always here to help you and uh, to help you with your starting. So so happy coding. So this was the presentation. Now I would like to quick demo of how we can create an issue in an organization, something. So here we are referencing Sugar Labs, as we are part of Sugar Labs. So when you go to the Sugar Labs section, in any of the repositories, I had chosen the newest version of the website, which is www version 2. You can to contribute in it, or if you like to contribute in another project, you can do that as well. So for the creating an issue, so you have to see you can see this part like issues. So when you click on the issues section, you will get to this landing page, and for this you get a new issue. We have some of the templates which are depicting some of the things like if you want to report a bug, or just want to create a custom palette or something like that. If you want to enhance some feature, you can also request us about that thing. So I will create a demo issue for that for you. So giving a title plays a main and vital role in creating an issue, like what's the issue is about. It's all depending on its title. So please try to keep the title more specific towards the thing. Try to, as we have prepared the template here, you can see that try to provide a better description of the issue. Also give us the proper steps, like how you are going to reproduce the issue. So anyone here can go to that section and reproduce that and verify it if it's there or not. Also you can suggest us the expected behavior, something like that. So and if it's possible, try to give the screenshots, as these are the most important thing. As of my like what I feel about the issues, like the screenshots are, and the screen recordings which you can show us. It's the best part if you can provide us that too. So on filling this type of details, something like that, I would do for you. So yeah, so here the issue is created with a tag of something like 145. So it's the issue number 145, and here we all have so you can also discuss with the the fellow contributors, with the maintainers. You can also tag them in order to reach out for the PR merges or something, like any of your doubts. Now for this thing, like if you have created this issue and wants to resolve it, so I had and if you work through and got some results like yeah, I can solve this thing. So you can just put it on the comment section, and in the issue that I want to work in this, you can also raise a PR. So in this thing, in the next part, I will show you how can you raise a PR for this thing. So for a PR, I had prepared some of the two merged. Oh wait, let me. So for a PR, you need to create a branch, something called a branch. If you get involved in open source, soon you will get understand with the Git and Git stuff. So the branch is something like you are creating a copy of the upstream, and in that thing you are going to do all the changes for the next few for the next PR. So I had created here a demo branch in which I had committed two commits, two changes. So when you do the changes which are resolving the problem, and you find that it is going to be good, like now I can have this thing merged into the upstream branch, and that can be helpful for all over the community. So you can just head over to the contribute section, uh, open a pull request. So we also have a pull request template. So where you can just see that we are having description, the issue which are related. So like here I will put 145, which was the demo issue I had created right now. What the PR changes and something like that. Everything you can just read about this thing and try to put all the stuff which are helpful for a reviewer to review your PR. So this was the basic thing which is needed uh, to be created in a or to create a PR. So also you can review your changes, like what I had changed here, and what is the previous one. So in this PR I had created a new file, so it's not giving me the previous version of it. So we have a git diff type of thing, like if I change this line, so it's going to be red and green, so something like that. If you are going to move ahead, you can obviously understand a bit more about it. So when I create, as soon as I create this demo branch, I compare it with the base branch of Sugar Labs WW. So it is the main upstream branch, and I'm going to create a pull request. So yeah, so the pull request is created, and it has mentioned the issue here, something like that. So this is how you can contribute to the Sugar Labs or any open source community, preferably Sugar Labs. As so this was the thing. So that's from my side. Thanks. If you are having any doubts, you can come on to the Sugar Labs page on GitHub or Metric, anything. We are always here to answer you. So thanks.
Great, thank you so much. And for anyone watching this, this is exactly the process for contributing. Like we have a sugar stories section, for example. So if you want to share some of your experience learning, how to code within the Sugar Labs, ecosystem, then you can write about it, and then you can submit it as a pull request, as we've just seen demonstrated by Om Suneri, and then that can become part of the website. You'd get some feedback. There would be a little bit of an editorial process. And it's interesting because it's not like code per se. You would be working with a markdown file, and that's kind of like code, but you would be mainly focused on telling your story and writing about it. But it would be reviewed, and we can give you some feedback. So that can be a nice kind of entry point for some people. Like, for example, like if you're in a class where you're using like Turtle Blocks or Music Blocks or Sugarizer, or any of the sugar activities, maybe downloaded from Flatpak or FlatHub, you can share how you created your Music Blocks project, or what have you. And maybe it's the first time that you've actually used Git, GitHub, or Markdown, or these things, and with a very low floor, an easy entry point, you can make a kind of a blog post contribution of I made I transcribed this song with Music Blocks, or I tested the MIDI feature, or something like that. And you can share a little bit about that, and then you can submit it as a pull request, and then that can be added to the website. And once it's been reviewed and approved, and you get that feedback and that experience of that process, then it'll be on the website, and then that pull request is yours. And it's documented in the Git history, which is really cool. And then you become a contributor and you learn a little bit more about Git.
Devin, that was the most interesting part of contributing open source. Like you have your name mentioned in the history of the organization and the product, so that was a great thing.
Yeah, that is a very cool feature of this, and that's one of the reasons why, although I was sometimes very tempted to move the website from something like Jekyll to WordPress, I just didn't feel like it, because I know a lot about WordPress. I give me WordPress and I know my way around. But by doing it this way, it really reflects the ethos that we have here, and it becomes itself a way that youth and learners can learn yet one more skill that we value. Okay, with no further ado, because we're starting to run a little bit behind schedule, let's move to Ubayd, who's going to talk to us a little bit about licensing, like what free software is. You've heard the word open source, contributor guidelines, and a little bit about code review.
Hi everyone, am I audible? Just for the check.
Yes.
Okay, so myself, Ubayd bin Sufyan. I'm based in Bangladesh, and to tell a history about myself on the journey of Sugar Labs. So I'm an open source enthusiast. So I started my journey of open source contribution in Sugar Labs back in 2024, around I think in the month of August or September, and this was my first organization to be an open source organization. So, and I learned a lot through this in the journey. So I contributed in documentation section of different projects. I contributed maybe I can say related to music blogs, to websites. So it's been a long journey in Sugar Labs. So let's cut to the chase, to the part where I'll be discussing about the contributing guidelines and other parts. Let me share my screen. Is my screen visible right now?
Yes.
Okay. So the agenda of my topic is related to effective licensing contribution guidelines, and then I'll be talking about the code review workflows. So first of all, why do we need licenses, and what are licenses? So licenses are legal permissions of how the contributors and how the consumers or how the users are going to use the code. Are they going to use it for proprietary purposes, or are they going to use it for open source purposes? So this is very much needed in all the organizations. So why do we need them? It actually protects both the developers and the users from the legal risks, so that uh, uh, it does not give some copyright issues, and also it prevents the misuse of you know the free open source code, so that other organizations cannot use it for other proprietary purposes. So based on the licenses, there are uh, very famous licenses which are used in open source organizations. So there are MIT license, Apache license, and GPL 3.0 license. So this is a comparison between the three licenses, and actually we're using GPL 3.0 license for our organization and for the uh, I mean for the website too. So just to say about it, for the license type, it is used a if I say the comparison between them, the license type, we can use it and we can modify the codes. So it says that yes, according to the license we can modify the codes. For commercial use, yes, we can use the commercial uses. Even for the distribution part, if we are going to distribute the software, if we are going to distribute the website, we can distribute it. But there is a difference when we are using the GPL 3.0 license, that yes, if we are going to distribute the source code, it must be the source code disclosure should be there. And sublicensing for the GPL 3.0, that for other parts like uh, for other licenses, we can use a different license under the main heading of MIT license. But GPL 3.0, it does not permit the sub licensing part. And attribution, it mostly tells giving credit to the authors or giving credit to the organization. And for proprietary purpose, GPL 3.0, it does not allow proprietary license for for the website. As it is 3.0, uh, it is not compatible for proprietary purpose. So as we are discussing about GPL 3.0, so what is it? What contributors can do? Contributors, they are free. The users, they are free to use and modify the software to suit their needs. It's okay. They can distribute the copies of the original software, and also they can study the source code. What contributors cannot do is that they cannot add any additional restrictions to the license, and they cannot use this uh, uh, for proprietary purpose. And if they are modifying the version, they also must give the source of their source code too. So this was the first part related to the licensing part, and which license we're using it for our website, for the organization. And next I'll be talking about the contribution guidelines. As my colleagues, they have discussed a lot about the uh, how to make a PR, how to create PRs, how to raise some issues. So for the first time contributors, it is best advised to play around. As we're discussing about website, it is best to play around with the website to see how the website works. If it is related to software, it is best to play around the software to navigate how it works. And then and then we encourage them to join the discussions session in GitHub, or as my colleague said, uh, you may join the Matrix channel. So what is the discussions tab? If you see here, the discussions tab is a tab in the GitHub interface. So there are lots of other channels where the announcements are made, where you can ask questions, different types of questions. Maybe uh, you may have an idea related to enhancing the website, maybe enhancing the UI, or maybe you are trying to modify a different UI to the website, or maybe you found a bug, and you want to communicate with the mentors, or you want to communicate with the community. Then maybe you can raise some questions here, raise some ideas here, and the maintainers and the community will definitely answer the questions here. Even if it is not comfortable, you're welcome to join the Matrix channel. It is also it is similar to the GitHub discussions. So in the Matrix channel also, you are there is a pool of community who will help you around if you have any doubts or questions related to it. And definitely for contributors, we encourage curiosity and collaboration. So that's what open source organizations are. So how we are going to make contributions? So maybe you found a bug in the website, in the software. So it does not need to be that you cannot raise a new issue. So let's go to the issues tab. Okay, so these are some existing issues in the in our www v2 uh, repository. So it does not mean that the new contributors or the contributors has to solve only these issues. If you have a new issue, definitely you can raise the issue here, no problem. If you have new issues, definitely you're welcome. And it is better to use labels on issues and peers. Why is it necessary to use labels? So that it is easier to understand that what the issue is related to about. Maybe it is related to bugs, it can be related to documentation, maybe as my colleague said, maybe it is for good new contributors, good first issue, so they can actually go around these issues and they can really solve it. Next, what are some of the best PR practices? So maybe we found an enhancement or a documentation purpose, but the changes it's going to have, it's huge, or there are lots of lines of code. So if we make a PR or if we raise an issue related to it, so what happens is that if the number of lines of codes are very much, so what happens is that it takes a lot of time to the maintainers to find, to understand, and to solve this. So it's better to uh, you know make small PRs and do it. And then there are times when you have in mind that, okay, the PR is not right now is not good for review, so we can create draft PRs too. And it is always advised to uh, test the PR uh, before raising it. So what are some of the commit etiquettes? So how are we understand, like how do we understand that the commit message, it is going to be a good commit message? So it is better to write uh, clear and concise commit messages. The commit message should not be that much long. So only the commit message, if it is short and simple, so it will make the the maintainers or the community to understand what the PR is about. And when if we click on it, we can easily understand what the PR is related. So we can see in our website that all the commit messages are short and simple. And then if we are going to fix some issues, it is better to write fixes hashtag those issue or closes the issue number. And we talked about the PR title, and it's better to write the meaningful commit tags. Next, about the code quality standards. So as we are writing, the tech stack is based on the TypeScript, so it is based to check the linting rules. And we are using the naming conventions related to camel case for the file names and identifiers. For classes we use the Pascal case, and for constant we are using the capital case. It's everything, all these are mentioned in our tech stack. So the branch name can be it can be related to we can say that the branch name, maybe it's, if it is a feature, we can write a feature slash slash what feature we're trying to do it. So this was a short description of how uh, the coding standard. So before committing it, the best advice is to run the npm run lint. All these are mentioned in our documentation. So running lint for TypeScript, if it is markdown files, we're going to lint it. For formatting code, we're going to type npm run format. And these are some other pre-commit checklist before committing it to the before raising a PR. So this was a short description of how the coding standards. So the code review workflow. So what actually happens in the CI/CD, continuous integration and continuous deployment. So maybe a, a a contributor is thinking about, okay, I'm planning to write a code. He writes the code, and then he creates a PR. And after creating a PR, the maintainers and the community will review the PR, and he will mention about, okay, if there is any review. And after the review process, what happens is that if it passes, and then what happens is that it actually it gets deployed in the GitHub through some rigorous testing. I can say that maybe uh, related to one of the PR which is made. So these are some of the steps which happens behind the scene before it's getting deployed in the GitHub website. So this is the merging strategy, and the role of the maintainers will check it if the code quality is good. If the code we are pushing it to the GitHub, it is not spam. So this is a short description of my presentation. So if there is any more doubts, or if there is any more clarification, you are you are free to ask us in the Matrix channel. You are free to ask us in the GitHub discussions.
Great. Thank you so much, Ubaid. So we only have like another minute on the feed. I've been monitoring the chat. We didn't receive any questions, but we did receive a lot of compliments, which we can read later. Just everyone's saying how awesome the website looks. I just want to, in the last minute we have, just encourage everyone, watching this to, find a way to contribute. And the website is a good place, whether or not you're just like, playing around with music blocks, turtle blocks, you can share your story as like that next step to, making pull request and learning a little bit more about Git. Thank you for watching.
Thank you,
Thanks,
everybody.
everyone.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye,
you.
Devin.